Hello, I'm Jonasz Rewiński and this is Military Mind. Armed conflicts, defense and security, land, sea and air. We've got you covered. Now, overnight, Sunday, Russian forces launched several aerial attacks on Ukraine. As a result, a resident of the suburbs of Kherson was killed by artillery shelling. The day before the strikes, the Russian army continued to hit the bridge in Kherson, which leads to the Korabiel neighborhood. Korabiel is located on an island, which is connected to the city by two bridges, a railway bridge and a road bridge. The island is home to the Kherson shipyard. On Saturday, authorities in Kherson reported that Russian troops dropped two guided bombs on the city. As a result, the bridge was damaged with a large hole left in the road. The next day, the head of the regional administration reported that Russian troops had again attacked Kherson from the air. Meanwhile, a Ukrainian drone attack, which took place overnight on Sunday, damaged a power line and sparked a fire at a railway station in Russia's southern region of Volgograd. An unexploded drone fell on railway tracks near the Archeda train station. No damage to the tracks was reported by the Russians. Now, in the Russian city of Sochi, more than 120 firefighters raced to extinguish a blaze at an oil depot sparked by a Ukrainian drone attack on Sunday. Meanwhile, on the front line, Russia is reportedly stepping up efforts to launch more drone attacks on Ukraine from occupied territories, according to new satellite analysis. A Ukrainian Telegram channel claims that imagery from July shows construction work at Donetsk city airport in Russian-occupied eastern Ukraine. Fortifications on the runway have been partially cleared, and workers appear to be preparing parking areas, possibly for fuel tanks, according to the reports shared by the Institute for the Study of War. The Ukrainian open-source intelligence group Cyber added that the images suggest Russian forces are building closed storage near the destroyed terminal, as well as manual drone control points, warhead unloading areas and surveillance posts. Unique archival materials lift the veil on one of the most daring and professional operations of the Special Ops Forces of Ukraine. The video in question shows the moment a settlement in the Kursk region of Russian Federation was cleared of the enemy units. The operators are working with utmost care, speed and coordination. Every move is precise, every decision is dictated by experience and extensive training. They work in complete silence, adhering to strict radio discipline without any unnecessary noise. This is more than just combat footage. It is proof that war has its shadowy side, hidden from view, but often with strategic importance to the broader outcome.
От, коротше, мульфар. Він каже, що він збив ту FPV.
Блядь, ну понятно діло хто.
Але то я збив, он.
Да.
FPV-шка.
Съебуй. Ага. Тут отстраиваем просто гильзы. Слёт! Ёпта, бля. Дом стоит.
Да, есть.
Там пулеметчики.
Чьи, ваши или наши?
Ваши.
Есть такое.
Они начали штурмовать. Ну, там 10 человек, что ли. Эти пулеметчики, короче, загасили.
The Russians are stepping up their activity on the Zaporizhia front, deploying forces in preparation for new attacks. However, their every move is under the gun, and this is because the Ronin contingent of the Ukrainian 65th Separate Mechanized Brigade is hard at work there. Their goal is to prevent the enemy from bringing in additional weapons, ammunition and manpower. To destroy the logistics artery is to destroy the very idea of an offensive. As a result of precision strikes, the task was accomplished with the annihilation of 2 KAMAZ trucks, 2 Bukhanka minibuses, and 3 passenger cars used by the Russians to move quickly between positions. Now we're going to move on to our next story, and that piece of footage is something very special indeed. It is the story of a real Ukrainian hero from the 4th Battalion known as the Power of Freedom. During combat, the soldier was left alone, completely surrounded with the enemies on all sides, and suffering from an injury that should have knocked him out of battle. But no, not this soldier. Instead, he held his position, knowing that the lives of his comrades depend on him. However, there was one problem: how to get him out of danger. The Ukrainians came up with an unexpected solution, attaching a 42-kilogram electric bicycle to a drone. The unique footage you're about to see shows how the drone delivers the rescue package right to the soldier's position. The hero sits down, gritting his teeth, and makes his escape against all odds. Between explosions, shelling, and enemy positions, he makes his way to his team. This video is not just a war chronicle. It is a story of remarkable fortitude, brotherhood, and faith. It is an example of how even at the darkest hour, sometimes salvation may come in the most unexpected way.
Позицій опинилася майже в оточенні противника. Не майже, вона була в оточенні противника. Противник знаходився по фронту, в тилу, по флангах, повністю всюди був противник. Наші хлопці тримали оборону до останнього, їх було з самого початку 4. 2 загинуло від ворожого скиду під час відбиття штурму. Ще 1 загинув від влучання FPV, коли підпалили їхнє укриття. Він намагався затушити. І залишився на тій позиції 1 хлопець з позивним «Танкіст», який тримав там оборону сам.
Представся, як твій позивний?
Танкіст.
Танкіст. Ти у нас з якої бригади?
30-17.
Бригада Рубіж, так?
Да.
Він не міг пересуватися самостійно, він пересувався тільки по-пластунськи або на карачках, але не дивлячись на це, він відбивав штурми ворога. Під'їхати туди на техніці неможливо, тому що повсюди ворог. Вийти самотужки він також не міг, бо до найближчої позиції йому треба було йти 1,5 кілометра.
По дорозі правіше.
Їхав він буквально хвилин 15, але для нас це було як півжиття. Просто ми дивилися, він максимально гладко приїхав по надзвичайно небезпечній ділянці. По тій ділянці, де постійно працюють FPV, скидчики, він просто пролетів її, його ніхто не помітив.
And with this spectacular escape, we end today's episode of Military Mind. Please stay with us here on TVP World for more latest news and updates.